We are live, folks.
I didn't know we were live.
And just said she's turned our mics on.
A bit of an issue with audio locally here. It is being streamed out, but
Okay,
they don't have time to troubleshoot before here.
okay.
And we are ready to go.
All right. Well, the chair notes that a quorum is present, and this specially called business meeting of the Marshall County Council for December 28th, 2023 will come to order. We have one item on the agenda today, which is a transfer of appropriations. Is there anyone present who would like to give input regarding the item on the agenda?
I think I'd give you some input on it.
Yeah, come on up, Mr. Klotz.
Dan Fox, Marshall County Commissioner. I talked to Ryan Coleman just this morning because this was a little very, very confusing. We were told this was coming last fall, late summer, fall, when we discussed going self-funded. But it kind of hit us all at once at the last minute. They were late getting the contracts to us. And the understanding was, at the time, we had to pay this to be paid next year. It is budgeted in our contract for next year. But all of a sudden, we found out we have to pay this year, the first year. This will be, correct me if I'm wrong, Angie, $83,000 per year for 2 years. I think the number, the dollar amount's the same the second year, I believe. And what it is, it only covers the stopgap loss part of it. That's the only insurance we're actually buying. I got some notes here. It's basically, we'll join through Pareto Captive Capital Insurance. We would join their group. 83,000 is basically a equity we put into the group. It's not a fee. We would be part ownership in this group. Correct me here, Angie, if you see something straight here from. Also, we would have the option potentially to receive dividends or any income, revenues from income this group makes.
Okay.
If we jump out in a couple of years, this is our money. If there's nothing used, we would get the money back. It would be balanced up, we would get the money back. So this is not actually a fee, this is just a buy-in of sorts. The money goes to fund the captive layer. It's only for 2 years, and the money, like I said, is refundable. It protects and guarantees basically if our plan totally blows up, that it's a 30% maximum on the stopgap loss that we would be on the hook for. So it's not going to put us into bankruptcy or anything like that. That's all this does. I will tell you, Gibson themselves, for their employees, have been in this for 4 years. I questioned Ryan about if they've ever seen anybody have to draw from this money. He said, to my knowledge, that nobody's ever drawn from it. Now, it's not saying it can't happen,
Right.
but to this point, they know of none. So basically, what it is, we had the money, we just had to do a transfer so we can pay it this year. We were supposed to pay it by Friday. Yeah. Not sure we're gonna be able to quite make that or not.
We should, if this is approved today, I can get this to the treasurer's office. We can get this out to them tomorrow, so we would be guaranteed coverage on January 1 should something happen.
It will be discussed tomorrow morning at the commissioners meeting to make sure we approve it so we go forward.
Okay.
Actually, it's not as scary as it looks. If the contract's through Paradigm, but it's basically part of Pareto Captive Capital, I guess you'd call it. So, I don't know if you have any other questions, if I can answer them for you. I don't know if I have all the answers. I know Melinda's online listening in case she needs to chime in with Andy about this. Get off track here. But basically, it's just a guarantee that we don't get in trouble. Going partially self-funded.
All right. Are there any questions from the council? My only thought was, if this is money that would have been covered in next year's budget, and we're going to pay that now out of this year's funds, would it be appropriate to have a reduction in an equivalent amount to that budget for next year?
Can I comment on that?
Yeah.
We're still gonna pay this again next year.
Okay.
We got 2 years. So this will be the
Okay.
first year, next year will be the second year. So we thought it was gonna be 24 and 25.
Okay.
That's what we really
Okay.
thought, since it was starting at 24. But then they sprung it on us a couple days ago that this need to be done by the end of the year. And they admitted and told me they'd work with us, give it a little grace period, but we want to make sure we don't abuse it, because technically our insurance takes over January 1.
Right.
And we don't want something to happen that would be a problem with this. So
Right.
we're racing, trying to get this done.
And we are not the only municipality in this.
Okay.
There is another municipality that Gibson is one of their clients. I don't know who that person is yet. I know their controller is on leave this week, so I was not able to speak to them, but there is another municipality who is involved in this.
Okay. Anything else? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the transfer from utilities to group health insurance in the amount of $58,309.71 as presented.
I'll second.
I've got a motion by Mr. Harmon and a second by Mrs. Cox to approve the transfer as presented. Is there any debate? And hearing none, all those in favor will say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. And the transfer is approved. All right, yeah, thank you. Let's see. Is there any additional public input on any topic for the last chance for 2023? Hearing none. Anything else for the good of the order, members of the council?
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
All right, I've got a motion by Mrs. Johnson, a second by Mrs. Cox for adjournment. All those in favor will say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, and we are adjourned.
All right.